Welcome back to The Explainer. Okay, today we are unpacking a highly complex, honestly pretty emotionally charged issue that's completely dominating graduation ceremonies and corporate boardrooms right now. There's this visceral, deeply felt anxiety radiating from Gen Z regarding their future in the age of artificial intelligence. It's palpable. So, we're going to look closely at the data and the real-world scenarios causing all this friction. We're exploring the precise ways AI advancements are directly influencing job market security for recent college graduates, and perhaps more importantly, how you can actually navigate this massive shift. To really understand the scale of this anxiety, we got to start right here. So recently, former Google CEO Eric Schmidt gave a commencement speech at the University of Arizona. He starts out by praising artificial intelligence, telling the new graduates that no matter what path they choose, AI is going to touch everything. And the reaction? Well, he was aggressively and loudly booed by the graduating class. I mean, it was one of the strongest, most immediate negative reactions to a commencement speaker we've seen in recent memory.
Now, context is absolutely crucial here. This wasn't some political protest about foreign policy or social issues, This was pure, unadulterated economic fear. See, the University of Arizona is a top-tier school for MIS, that's Management Information Systems. These are students who spent years grinding, studying tech and data. And right as they're handed their diplomas, they're walking out into a tech economy that is rapidly tightening its hiring. They're watching imminent layoffs unfold at massive companies like Meta. So when a tech billionaire stands on stage and praises the exact technology they feel is actively threatening their specific, newly minted career paths, they push back. They are literally terrified for their livelihoods.
All right, Section 1, the economic AI paradox.
Okay, let's dive into this and transition from the sort of visceral symptom of these students' fears to the actual macroeconomic root cause. We need to look at a really fascinating yet pretty sobering theory brought forward by the CEO of Anthropic. Historically, economic growth has always followed a super simple formula. High GDP equals lots of stuff to do, which means lots of jobs for everyone. A booming economy always meant high employment. But AI is creating a reality we've literally never seen before. The signature of this new disruptive technology is that it actually breaks that historical link. We are looking at a potential future with very high GDP growth, paired, paradoxically, with very high unemployment and inequality.
So the crucial point here is this absolutely alarming projection. According to the leadership at Anthropic, it's not logically inconsistent to imagine a world where we experience 5 to 10% GDP growth existing simultaneously with a massive 10% unemployment rate. That is unprecedented. The economy itself could be absolutely soaring, creating immense wealth and output, while simultaneously leaving a massive chunk of the traditional workforce totally behind.
Moving on to Section 2, Automation in Action Today.
Now, it's super easy to get lost in high-level economic theories, right? So let's shift this explainer to a micro level and see how this is actually playing out on the ground today. This quote is incredibly telling. This comes directly from an engineering lead within Anthropic, literally one of the companies building these AI models. They explicitly stated, "I don't write any code anymore. I just let Opus do the work and I edit it." They're talking about Claude Opus 4.5. Just take a second and think about that. Even the top, most highly qualified engineers at the very companies building artificial intelligence are fundamentally shifting how they work. They aren't doing the manual labor of coding anymore. They're essentially just managing the AI that does it for them. Let's break down exactly what that looks like in practice, because it's wild. Recently, a top-tier engineer, someone described as one of the most qualified ever hired by his team, was testing a revolutionary new calibration software. Step 1, he found a mistake in the code. Now, in the past, this would mean manually digging through lines of code, rewriting, troubleshooting, the whole shebang. But here's the new workflow. Step 2, he took the entire code base, fed it into Claude, with a prompt simply telling the AI to fix it and make it cleaner. Step 3, the code was fixed and deployed. The absolute most stunning part of this entire scenario, this highly qualified engineer completed this entire complex workflow in exactly 1 minute and 59 seconds.
And this brilliantly illustrates the immediate threat to the job market, because that one fast AI-assisted coder operating in under 2 minutes can now output the work of 5 to 10 traditional engineers. And as these models get smarter and faster, that multiple is only going to increase. This is exactly why those students at the University of Arizona were booing. They aren't just competing against other graduates anymore. They are competing against a hyper-efficient hybrid of human and AI that can do the job of a small department before lunch. This heavily accelerates job market volatility for new entrants.
Which brings us to Section 3, Preparing for the AI Era.
So, where does all this leave us?
We've diagnosed the macroeconomic paradox, we've seen the micro-level automation in action. Now, let's pivot to the practical application of this explainer. What must young professionals, new hires, and those nervous graduates actually do to adapt? Well, here are the actionable takeaways directly synthesized from our sources. First, your mindset has to shift entirely. Stop trying to be a writer, whether that's writing code, writing copy, or writing reports. You must become an editor. Let the AI generate the baseline and you refine it. Second, don't work alone. You need to assemble a team of AI agents to help you accomplish tasks you could literally never do on your own. Third, your core skill is now prompt efficiency and speed. The faster you can guide an AI to the right answer, the more valuable you are to a company. And finally, to borrow a phrase from Eric Schmidt's controversial speech, when someone offers you a seat on a rocket ship, you do not ask which seat, you just get on. You have to leverage AI as a powerful tool to remain competitive, rather than just fearing it from the sidelines.
As we wrap up this explainer today, we're really left with a profound geopolitical and economic dilemma. On a national level, the argument is that we absolutely must advance AI rapidly to outpace global rivals like China in technological dominance. But the central question we have to ask ourselves, and really the question those students were demanding an answer to, is this: do we push that advancement at the direct cost of our own graduates' jobs and domestic security? It's a really tough balance of global power versus local stability, and it's a new reality we all have to face together. Thank you so much for joining me, and keep questioning the data.